be talking about contouring. I can't count the number of times I've been asked to make a video about contouring and highlighting and how to do this. Now, there are several ways you can do it, and the method I'm going to show you today is using cream liquid type products, because I find those give the most natural look. Powders are great for speed, but they're not particularly accurate, and very thick creams require a lot of work. Using a liquid type product is perfect for me. I really like working with them. So I'm going to use a product which I use pretty much every day for special occasions, for general cover-up jobs, and it is the Varama Cover Cream. And it comes as a system of 3 colours, and you need to mix it to your perfect colour. So what I tend to do is mix it up in very small batches, like this one, in just a little sample pot. And I've kind of got it down. I know what my colours are. And that's the great thing about it, that you can actually make up your perfect colour all year round, rather than having to switch between different foundations. But anyway, I'm going to use the light and the dark from this range, and you might be a tad frightened by the colours I'm going to use. I'm going to use number 1, which is pretty much a pure white base with a slight flesh tone to it, and where are you? Number 4, which is one of the darker tones that you can use. And I use a tiny bit of this with number 3 to get my perfect shade, plus a dab of yellow. So use your lightest and darkest shades to do this. I'm going to start with highlighting. Now, places to highlight on the face have to look natural. You may or may not be able to see a stark difference, but you will see things like cheekbones, eye socket, nose. I tend not to sculpt my nose too much, simply because it is already quite thin and quite pronounced and long, so there's not an awful lot I need to do to that to make it sharper. In fact, it would look like a razor blade if I did actually go down the sides. But what you can use is you can sharpen up your features a little bit by using subtle contouring. So I'm actually just going to use this one, very flat, angled brush, take a bit, pop it on the back of my hand, like so. And this is very light, so I use it with the angled brush. And I am going to go down the nose because I want to show you exactly how it's done. So I'm going to use it to straighten my nose out because it's a touch sort of bent. Then I'm going to use it to highlight my forehead, drawing on myself along the sides of the mouth and the chin. And I'm going to just draw across the top of the cheekbones, like so. That is how easy it is. I'm just going to go across, join those up in a little triangle. So what we're trying to do is actually, we are trying to bring features forward. So I want to bring this area out just a touch, and then off to the top of the cheekbones. I know this looks kind of crazy. So it's not about concealing. You must have already used your concealer and your foundation. I've already put foundation on. I'm just going to use a blender brush. This is an eyeshadow blending brush, and I'm just going to blend that to nothing, because what you don't want is you don't want a massive brush which is going to spread it outside the area you're trying to highlight. I mean, you can also use blending wedges, they're normally quite good as well, and then just spend time in little circular motions blending. So if I've already applied my foundation, but if you find that you may have put too much on, it may be too light for you. You know, this process normally takes me 45 minutes to do on a client, so I'm trying to squeeze it in to 5 minutes. And just blend in those areas. go right under the eye. Try not to go too far down, keep it nice and lifted when you're on the cheekbones. Just use this lovely circular motion. Keep it high on the cheekbones like this. Smooth anytime you need to. Now you're thinking, that looks kind of crazy. I'm going to go finish off and then I'll come back and we'll do some contouring as well. Okay, next up with our darker colour. Just going to use another angled brush. I'm going to take it up just above my crease. If your eyes are particularly flat, this is great. You're really making your eyes come alive. And then I'm going to take a little bit. It's not quite dark enough, so I have to switch again. What I want is some nice hollows here. I just seem to be randomly drawing on my face, but I promise it's not. Sharpen up your jawline. I'm going to switch to a darker colour, to BC4. The other thing I like about these Veramas is that they are water resistant, so they really will last all day. So I'm sculpting my jawline and drawing a little zigzag pattern. Basically that's essentially it, so zigzag like that, and then blend outwards, so zig zag up from the top. Stipple brush and just gently blend that in, and always sort of blend outwards. If it's not blending, dampen your brush just a tiny bit with water or toner, and I'm blending outwards because what I don't want is to bring it into the face. I'm trying to sculpt the outer part of the face, and I'm manipulating this stipple brush into the shape that I want. So it's all contouring for me is generally this part of the face, because I want to change the shape of my face. It's quite sort of flat and round, and I want to change it to be more oval. So that's about face shape, but then you come into the centre of the face, like around the nose. Again, I'm going to take a bigger brush to do this. So just finish off with a smaller brush to make sure it's really blended. And don't forget, doing this for photography is going to take a lot longer. You know, this is my quick guide, but I would never use this so quickly, say on a client, because it has to be perfect. But the aim of this video is to allow you to practice at home. Having seen someone placing it, then you can practice your blending. Blend it all together, like so. So now the final thing to do is to just set with a bit of powder, but before that I found something really interesting about these Verama creams. Now these three coloured creams that come with your base colours are actually used to enhance your skin's undertone, and that kind of got me thinking, well, apart from the yellow one, because I'm really not sure what I'd do with that. You get a pink sort of English rose sort of colour and then a more coral colour. These I found you can use them on my own. They have the same principles as a cream blush or a lip stain, in that they are water resistant but they blend really easily. So you have a choice depending on your skin's undertone. My skin's undertone is kind of yellowy, so it lends itself really nicely to this sort of coral colour. But for a more natural day look, this red is just stunning. Sorry, pink is just stunning. So again, take a tiny squeeze on the back of your hand, You really don't need a lot. It's just so economical. And we're going to apply that to the cheeks, just like you would a cream lip blush, a cream blush. But my goodness, it just blends like a dream. I utterly adore it. It is lovely. It has a beautiful satiny finish and is matte, so it's wonderful. On the lips, it is a wonderful nude colour, but it also acts as a erase because it will literally block out the colour of my lips underneath. Suddenly my makeup is in harmony, so the cheeks match the lips, and now you can just wear your natural eye makeup. I'm just using contoured colours of foundation, and I've just drawn in my eyebrows. I'm pretty much good to go. So that is contouring in a nutshell. It's about using light colours to push things out of your face, to give you that sort of natural look, so to bring out the cheekbones, to bring out the eyelids, to bring out the forehead, all those sort of natural places that if I look up, light hits quite naturally, but this can just add a little bit more. And then contouring is about adding shape and shadow, so it's pushing back things into the face. So I have pushed this part, this very sort of pronounced bone that is my socket bone, back, which allows my eyes to come forwards. And also on the side of my face, I've used it in this zigzag pattern to add sculpt to my face. It was previously quite round, but now it dips in here, sharpen up the jawline. I've used a touch down the nose and into the eye socket just to sharpen up the nose a little bit. So I hope that's useful. It's kind of a long video. It's actually quite a difficult concept to practice, and that's all I can say is practice and get used to different textures, get used to your face and how you want it to look. Take a pencil and just draw what you want your face to look like. So like I have here, I've given myself angles to get rid of that sort of roundness. I've sculpted the forehead a bit to bring this bit back and this bit forward. So you can make your face shape whatever you want to, really, and I advise you just to have a really good practice. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.